Casper Dennis here for Submission Radio, proudly brought to you by Musashi with the man that takes on Carlos Diego Ferreira. This weekend, Anthony Showtime Pettis, obviously the former champion. We can always count on you for a nice media day outfit and also a fresh pair of sunnies. I always wondered, and you kind of said this before off camera, is this just the look or is this to protect you from these insane lights that people don't realize?
These lights are ridiculous, man. You're cutting weight and you don't want these lights blaring your eyes, so I put the glasses on. And everybody thinks it's like, oh, he's trying to be cool, but like, man, these lights you see, like, you look up, that's just intense.
I always wonder, like, on these media days, when you're getting bombarded by all these strangers, is it somewhat comforting to have these sunglasses on? I imagine it's kind of almost like a bit of a visor, a bit of a protection from everyone.
No, not really. Like, I would take the glasses off if these lights weren't so bright. It's just like, I don't want to be having a headache after I get done with these interviews. And it's only about 30 minutes of interviews, and I drove here, and it's sunny out, so, yeah.
Tell you what, man, we were absolutely shocked when you told the story about USADA and what happened with that Nate Diaz fight. I mean, you told the story really well to Ariel, but I'm just wondering, after you made it public, has USADA said anything to you guys? I know they don't like it when people criticize them in the headlines, so they try to come back to you guys and rebut you guys?
We're talking with USADA, so I'm not allowed to comment on it no more, but it happened, and for me, honestly, it's more about never having it again. Like, no fighter should have to deal with that kind of stress before a fucking huge fight like that. So, you know, it's not like I'm out here like crying about it. You know, I didn't say nothing until right now. I'm like, yo, this is something that happened. Something needs to change behind the scenes so it never happens again.
I mean, obviously that fight with Nate didn't go the way that you wanted. Duke was in the back telling you not to fight and stuff. Nate has lost to Jorge Masvidal. Do you see if you beat Ferreira here this weekend as a possible chance to rematch Nate and do it properly this time without having to go through all that stress? And
I'm not going to say like that stress changed the game of that fight. You know, I can't believe Nate beat me because of that. You know, I lost that fight based on my own decisions, my movement, the way I fought that fight. Definitely had something to do with it. Like I said, mentally, like there was something there that should never happen again to anybody. But if Nate's up for it, hell yeah, I would love to do that one back again.
How much did you feel that cut sort of during the fight? And I'm wondering, in hindsight, do you ever look back and think, you know, do you ever regret taking...
Talk about the cut like that no more. So like, they asked me not to speak about it, so let's change it up.
Okay. Do you regret taking the fight? Okay, gotcha. Do you... Okay, maybe you can't show us. Do you have a scar or anything like that?
It was. I mean, it was right here in the webbing. You can see that little cut there.
Yeah.
So when I unscrewed the bottle, I mean, it's 4 months old, 5 months old. So I unscrewed.
And you can still see it.
I mean, it was a cut. I needed stitches. So I closed the bottle, and that's when it opened. And I'm like, I had a decision to make, and I'm a professional fighter. You know, I'm not a bitch. You know, so let's fight.
On another Conor McGregor card, but it's a different Conor McGregor card, a respectful Conor McGregor, a different build-up for this one. How does it feel to be on another McGregor card and kind of in a position where people are excited to see you possibly have kind of like the fight of the night outside of some of the other matches that have been announced?
I like McGregor's energy right now, honestly. Hopefully these younger fighters see like this is the way you can also make money doing it this way. You don't have to be the trash talker, a loud person. And even though that's awesome, like he got his fame where he's at, but he don't need to do that no more. And Cowboy's not a guy that you got to do that to either. So I like the energy they're both bringing into this fight. Very respectful. It's a martial arts event, and we're going to see martial artists compete, and the best men win. For me, being on this card on the first fight of the night, I like it, man. It's been a while since I've fought this early. It's been a while since I get to fight this early and enjoy some fights. So I'm going to go out there, do my job, and see what happens next.
Just obviously, we'll talk about Carlos in a second, but just as far as the main event, who do you have winning that fight, and how do you see that one playing out?
I said the same way. I think if it ends early, it's Conor, and if it goes, the longer it goes, Cowboy has a chance.
Macy, Barber across from us, she spoke about the influence that you had on her in this camp and this relationship that you guys have where you're checking in on her, and just talk to us a little bit about that, because you're a veteran, you're a former champion. How does it feel to sort of have her on the same card with you?
Yes, Macy came and did a camp with us for her first fight, but I wasn't in camp, so I met her family, but I didn't get to actually see what's going on behind the scenes. This camp we did it together, you know, we're cutting weight together. She's just a brilliant mind, and that's what's awesome about her. Like, she wants to learn, and she wants to know why things are done a certain way, and she's open-minded. And then her support system behind her, man, is awesome. Her pops, her brother, she has what it takes to be a big name in the UFC, a big name in this world, as a world of mixed martial arts. So I'm excited to see what happens with her.
It's crazy to see how many names have sort of taken her under the wing, you know, guys like yourself, guys like Ben Askren. But as far as Carlos, you know, what does it feel like taking on a guy like him? Do you feel like this is and I don't mean to sort of undervalue Carlos in any way, but this is a bit of a break from, you know, some of the crazy former champions and killers you face in the division.
That's the scary thing, you know. If I go in there with that mindset of like this guy's easier than the other ones, then I'm gonna have a bad performance. I'm not gonna take him as serious, but. This was an amazing training camp. Literally, like after the Diaz fight, you know, I had a lot of soul searching to do. I had a lot of mental stuff to figure out because I broke my foot. So I literally watched all my old fights, watched my old interviews, watched my career. I'm like, where did the disconnect happen? You know, and I saw a big part of it was the weight cuts, and the weight cuts were hurting more after the Max Holloway fight. That was another big decision. I moved up to 170 for a year just to give myself a break from doing that. Now I've been. On next week, Monday, 13 years professional, you know, and
congratulations,
13 years and 11 of them in the WC UFC, you know, or maybe 12 years in the WC UFC. So I've been in the game for a long time, man, and anybody that's done this for anything for 10 years, there's stages of it, you know. There's sometimes you're motivated as hell, and sometimes just like, all right, this is my job, man. I went through all them stages. I was the champion of the world. I was the guy in the undercard. I was the kid that just had to make his name, and now I'm in a new stage of my career, a new phase of my career that mentally I just want to be prepared for.
I'm just wondering, obviously, 155, you mentioned the weight cut is easier. Do you see a future at 155? Or because you're such an exciting fighter and you're kind of the highlight guy on the card, are you just going to go to whatever weight class has the most exciting matchup for you?
Pretty much. Yeah, 170, I felt great, 170. There was no weight cut there. The crazy thing was, like, when I fought last year at 170, my walkout round weight dropped, like, 15 pounds. So I wasn't ballooning back up between fights. You know, there was no weight cut to, like, do that to me. So I was walking, like, 185. Even the Diaz fight, I made weight the Wednesday before, you know, because I didn't have to cut weight. That's why I was like, okay, my body's back down, lower numbers. I think 155 is more likely to do without hurting myself. And I was right, man. I'm 150. I woke up 161 this morning, no workout last night, 2 gallons of water in me, and I feel amazing. But my energy, like usually if at 155, I'm like, all right, get out of here, fellas. And now I'm like, yo, let's talk all day.
I didn't want to say anything, but you're in much higher spirits compared to some of the other times. We're appreciative of that. As far as Carlos goes, he's this young guy. You know, he's on a great, like, nice win streak. Do you sort of look at him and feel like, I've been in that position, I've been where he's been, and is there kind of an advantage to that sort of mindset that he's experiencing for the first time, whereas you've already been there?
Not an advantage, man. In this sport, anything can happen. Diaz was off for how many years, and he comes back and he has a great performance. Anything can happen in this sport. So I'm going in with the mindset of, like, I need to be true to myself, stay true to my game plan. I put a game plan together in camp that I could actually measure and have growth with, and I'm seeing the growth. I'm seeing the progress. I have great training planners. Manny Sanchez, so similar to this guy that I'm fighting. So he was a huge training partner for me. My little brother was a training partner, but he's not younger than me. He's about to be 35. So wow. He's kind of older in the game, man, like 35 years old on our fight night, but he's on a 5-fight win streak, and that just shows in the sport, age ain't nothing but a number, man. It doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter where, it just all that matters is where this mind's at.
You were speaking just before about kind of like the career resurgence that you're sort of looking to have. Is there something specific that you want to prove this weekend against Carlos?
That I'm better than him. That's it.
Well, I'll tell you what, we can't wait to see the fight, Anthony. As you wrap up, I know maybe not really into giving predictions, but what can people expect from this return at 155
I'm not
this
gonna
weekend?
give a prediction, but I'm going to say I'm going for the knockout. Not in a dumb way, not like I did against the Diaz fight. There's not going to be no big bombs thrown. It's going to be clean strikes, and once I see my opportunity, he's getting knocked out.
Well, there you go. Can't wait. T-Mobile UFC 246 this weekend. Anthony Pettis in a good mood. Thank you so much for joining us, man.